Hey guys, welcome to this week's recap of The Real Housewives of Miami, episode 13, Lines in the Sand. Oh my god, the Miami franchise is killing it. I would give this an 8.9, given that we had a little lull at Julia's 50th birthday and Kiki's birthday party, but overall this episode was amazing. So where we last left off is was at where Adriana and Alexia, they get into a heated argument. Remember, Adriana, she's sulking, she's upset, she's sad about getting her foot hurt by the girls and trying to seek attention from the women by every means possible. And in this moment, she brought up, accidents have consequences, as you know, with Frankie to Alexia. And that was a moment I was in shock. I'm like, this girl has no filter whatsoever. Like, come on. Even if you have issues with Alexia, why would you go and target Frankie? Like, Frankie is the sweetest kid, the sweetest, person on this franchise that brings us so much joy, so much laughter. And for Adriana to use that in a way to, I don't know, was it to hurt Alexia, to have her understand how her foot is so badly hurt? And I'm like, what is she thinking? Alexia, reasonably so, was so upset. And you saw how emotional that she got when trying to clarify to Adriana that, listen, you having an issue with your foot does not compare to what happened with Frankie. Like, even though you're complaining and saying your foot is broken, your foot is not broken. And I have to live with, my son, help him heal and go through this process, and those two things can't be compared. So it's like, it's not resonating with Adriana. She didn't lose her foot, and she's trying to say that, that she could have lost her foot, but she was lucky. And I'm like, do you not hear yourself? Are you trying to reverse and say that in Alexia's situation that she was not lucky? Like, where are you trying to get at? I don't know how she's not seeing or hearing what she says. Is coming off cruel or can be taken the wrong way. And the fact that Adriana is doubling down on it, I'm like, you cannot want attention that bad. Like, even if you're going through something, using someone's disability or their accident on how they got their disability as a reason to compare, to say why you deserve sympathy, why you should have these women's attention. Come on. That is absurd and that is crazy. It's like, some fights are not worth having. And I don't know why Adriana wants to stand on this issue so hard, especially to use Frankie. Like, what makes you think like that to be the first thing to come out your mouth? And I'm looking at the women and, they're kind of like shocked and flabbergasted. We don't hear much from any of them aside from the Gertie saying, no, leave the kids out. Kiki saying, no, keep the children out of it. And Nicole was shocked, but you just saw Julia just sitting there in silence. And, Marisol, she's going to stick up for her girlfriend. So she sticks up and say how awful that comment was towards Frankie. And, Julia, she says that, the truth is controlling your mouth. That's very interesting. She says that as a rebuttal to Marisol when Marisol is trying to say, control what you say. And then Julia says, the truth is controlling your mouth. And that's very interesting. And I feel like if Julia wants to interject and say something in this scenario, that would not have been the first thing to be said. I understand Julia is friends with Adriana, but at some point you have to say to your friend or try to pull your friend to the side. Like, this was the moment where you needed to pull Adriana to the side. Like, Adriana needed to be removed from this situation. And seeing Alexia release her rage and let it, all out on the table. Like we see in the confessional, she says that she's been going through this and with her family for over 11 years. So this is not something to be taken lightly. This is not something that can be healed in a few days, like a foot injury, if you had a foot injury. But, you know, for Julia to not correct her friend immediately, or to get the foot out of Adriana's mouth as soon as possible, I think this didn't have to go as badly as it was. You know, Julia, she wants to kind of hush down Marisol and pick up the ice cubes. And I'm like, come on, no. I thought maybe she was trying to make this moment fun, because I couldn't tell if she was doing a playful smile, like her face looked like she wanted to have fun. But I was so confused. Like, why are we picking up stuff to escalate the situation? You know, to throw it at Marisol? Like, if anything, you should have like poured over Adriana so she could calm and focus on other things. No. And then you see in Julia's confessional, she's like, that's where she finally says that, oh, she doesn't support Adriana's comments. But, you know, the confessional is after the fact. She says she doesn't support Adriana's comments, but in the confessional, after half time has passed, she wants to say that she doesn't like how the girls are ganging up against Adriana. She doesn't want to witness that. She doesn't want to see that. But I feel like these girls in this moment have a valid reason to gang up on Adriana. Like, yes, they do gang up on her, but honestly, Adriana gives the reason to. Like, come on, like, to make a case for yourself, you're kind of burying yourself in a bad situation. Now everyone looking at you like, why did you have to bring up Frankie into this at all? You know? And, you know, Adriana, she looks to Dr. Nicole pretty much to be a doctor, to assess the situation, to say to her, oh, like, this accident is an accident and that it could have been worse. You know, Nicole, she tries to like play both sides of the fence. And because she is a friend to Adriana and she is a friend to Alexia, or she's trying to start a friendship with Alexia. And, you know, Nicole says pretty much what needed to be said to Adriana for her to wake up. She says that you cannot compare what could have happened to you to what did happen to Alexia's son. And, you know, I hope that at that moment that Adriana received that, what she said in that about what could have and what did happen. But no, Adriana goes on how, oh no, she doesn't have anybody in her life, as she relies on herself. Like, if she's injured, she has to figure out how to get her food and take care of herself. Like, she doesn't have her son who's in college to come help her. She doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have a partner. She doesn't have anything. And she has to also take care of a dog. So she's like, she has no one. And she's actually seeking for company. This is where you see misery wants company. And she wants Nicole to commiserate with her. But, you know, Nicole refuses to. And she tells her straight and says, no, you know, you can't compare the two. And so pretty much Adriana wishes for Nicole to disinvite the girls to the dinner. And I'm like, she doesn't see the issue. She needs time to reflect. Obviously, Adriana is heated at this moment and she's not seeing anyone else's side but hers, because she can only count on herself, so she's only going to look out for herself. And interesting enough, Marisol, you know, the girls, they left and picked up and went with Alexia. And Marisol says she doesn't want the Julia and Adriana at the dinner. So, funny enough, you see Nicole, she walks to check in on Alexia. And the girls tell Nicole straight, saying that she needs to tell Adriana to stay home and that Julia needs to take care of her. And I'm like, damn, that's a tough position to be a host, to manage these girls, because this is not just a regular dinner. This is Julia's 50th birthday. And I feel bad for Julia in this sense, because it's like, come on. No one wants to spend a 50th birthday with drama. Even though the drama is valid, like her comments on Frankie is valid to be upset about, but this was like, oh, what a situation to be in. And Nicole, she's gonna figure out how to make the situation work. So Nicole, she's gonna call the restaurant and have it separated into two tables, hoping that they'll be close together. And I'm like, that is interesting. That's possible. We that can happen, but after you make a reservation for 9 girls and now you want to separate and find 2 new tables that's relatively close to each other, it's not going to be that easy. And we already know that this is going to be an issue and it's going to be a whole situation. So we get a scene back in Miami, and Lisa is visiting Miss Leah Black. So Leah, she was a housewife for this franchise before, but now she's no longer a housewife. I would like her back because she's actually quite fascinating, quite interesting. So Leah and Lisa, they have been friends for over 10 years, and Leah has Lisa's back. Like, Leah is a person that you want in your corner. Like, if you're going through issues, you want to have a Leah. Like, Leah was there for Lisa on numerous occasions. Anytime Lisa had an issue in her marriage, in her relationship, Leah was the one that she can look to for advice. So Leah Black, she's a businesswoman, so she's gonna have a sit down with Lisa, but of course she's gonna have a table with all her skincare, her products on display. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, Leah, just come back on the show. It's good promotion. It's you can do it. You can do it. So Lisa, she gets to talking and she tells the situation. She says to Leah that she is not gonna move out from the home and that she's not gonna move into the rental in what Lenny would like for her to do. And she sees it as Lenny doing this as a strategy to get her out the house and to move in the mistress into the home. And in her home is where her kids are. So this is not something that she's willing to do, obviously not, because her kids are her number one priorities. So Lenny has a rental, and he sleeps at the rental, but he comes back to the home and he sleeps in the bed that Lisa sleeps in, which is quite weird. I don't know how that situation goes. Like, I would feel concerned for my safety. Like, what can this man do to me? Like, I don't want to be on a Snap or 2020 prime time situations, because this is so strange, super strange. And pretty much Leah is reassuring to Lisa, telling her that, there's life after this situation and that's only going to be positive, but you have to get over this, And, right now, Lenny's mom is on Lisa's side, but, you don't know how long that will last. Come on. And we see later in the episode where Lenny's mom stands, especially in the situation with her son. And, Lisa, she continues to talk, and she's like talking about whether if she would go back with Lenny if he was to beg. She says that if Lenny was to beg to her that he wants this relationship back for the sake of the kids, Lisa would 100% go back to him. Like, she says she doesn't know, but she sounds like she would, because she really cares about those kids. But Leah is like, hell no, you shouldn't. Like, he has crossed so many lines, so many boundaries, so much disrespect. Like, why would you go back? And she wants Lisa to be a queen, to be a princess, to be, an example for her kids and for herself. Like, to have dignity for yourself, So Leah wants more for Lisa, and Lisa gotta want more for herself if she wants, to come out in the end of this happy. Because there's one thing about being happy for the kids, but what's most important is to be happy in yourself, to be a great mom and do what is right for all parties involved. Even though, like, you think that getting back with Lenny would be a good situation for your daughter to see two parents in the home together, and also her son, for her son to see as well. If they're not loving to each other and if they're not seeing happiness, it's not gonna actually work out the best for the kids. even though you think it would. Yeah, I don't think it would be the best. So what's important for the kids to see is mom is happy and dad is happy, and they're both thriving and happy in their situation. So in the case of this situation, Lisa, you got to go, girl. But you have to plan strategically, because obviously Lenny thinks he's gonna just get his way and plan how he wants to run things. But you have to stand strong and handle your business pretty much. So we're back in the Bahamas, and the girls are getting glam for dinner. Every time they get glam for dinner, I'm like, this dinner is gonna be a mess. Every dinner they have has been a mess, okay? But we love the mess. We're here for the mess. And so Alexia's getting her makeup done, and it's hilarious because she's like moving and talking, and the makeup artist has to keep up with her, pretty much doing all this movement. So I'm like, damn, this is a tough job to be a makeup artist. So pretty much Alexia says the reason why Adriana is acting this way is because she's not getting any, and she's not getting the D, and so is Julia. She's not getting the D. And I'm like, come on, Alexia. There's more life than the D. Okay? Adriana is going through a whole situation. And, we learn later why Adriana is the way she is. But let's just hold off on that. So, Alexia, she thought that Adriana would have said sorry to her or sooner in that situation, because she thought she would have seen how upset Alexia was getting and how emotional she was getting. But it just goes to show you what kind of person Adriana is. Like, if you see like your friend having a breakdown of you mentioning her kid, like, you should understand to just stop. Like, you should just stop. Okay? And so we get a scene with Gertie and Nicole. And Nicole is trying to, plan how to fix this situation, because this is Julia's 50th birthday and also Kiki's birthday. And she gets back from the restaurant personnel, and they said that they'll try to make it work, but it's not guaranteed that they would be close to each other. So that's gonna be already a situation where Gertie and Nicole are gonna have to bounce back or pick a side on whose table they're gonna be at. But this is like so overwhelming, and I just want to, if I was a guest there, I don't know what I would have done. I would just enjoyed Bahamas. Like, come on, guys, this is like a perfect, beautiful vacation. So we're in Adriana's room with Julia, and Adriana had time to reflect. And you know how she reflects? She realized that this is a my bad moment. Like, girl, this is more than my bad. You can't say that. Say that amongst Julia, but when you get to the girls, do not just say that this is a my bad moment. So Julia, she finally tells Adriana that she needs to apologize and to not make it about anything else but focusing on the situation that she did wrong. In the confessional, we do see Adriana get teary-eyed, and she says that she regrets crossing that line. And you see the pain in her, and I'm like, Adriana is really, really, really going through it. She mentions in her confessional how she only has a year and a half left of alimony left, and then she would be responsible to figure out how to take care of herself financially on her own 100%, and her kid. So she said she describes the situation of referencing Frankie in the accident as her trying to connect with Alexia, to have Alexia understand how much pain she's in. But she realized that the analogy was wrong and that she shouldn't have said that at all. And this is not the first time an analogy is used in the wrong way. I feel like that is an easy way to be misunderstood. And Adriana could have avoided this situation completely without having to reference Frankie. Just say you're in pain. If the girls don't believe you, they don't believe you. You have to understand for yourself why they're not choosing to have any pity or having sympathy towards you. Why is that the case, Adriana? Maybe you're a bit over the top. Maybe you're the boy who cried wolf so many times that when you are in pain, these girls can't, rally towards you. That's just the situation, and that's very sad and unfortunate. But that means that you really do have to reflect how you manage your relationships with your friends. So we see Nicole, Gertie, Julia, and Adriana. They're at their table. So Adriana says that, she says to the girls that this was in my bag, which I told her not to do, which is not a my bad situation. But, Gertie is actually happy that she's actually realizing that this is wrong. And, that's good for her in her book. But I'm like, that is not enough. If I was Gertie, I would have told Adriana, do not tell these girls this was a my bad situation. Like, your friend obviously is miscommunicating and she needs help communicating. The other girls, they walk in and they walk right past by them. They're like, hi, and they walk right past by them, not even slowing down, not even a hug, kiss, hello. They just move right past their table. And I'm like, damn, that is crazy. So you see Alexia, Marisol, Larsa, and Kiki, they went to the other table because Kiki's the other birthday girl. Okay? And I'm like, damn. And, Gertie, she wants the girls to get together. So I'm like, yes, Gertie, please, please, please take action in these scenes, okay? So Nicole and Gertie, they bounce back and forth between tables to celebrate Julia's 50th birthday and also Kiki's birthday. So they have a funny situation going on. You have the nerd table versus the popular mean girls table. And it's actually quite sad, That's so quite sad. But do you think it's true? I think so. I think the popular girls, Alexia, she's the star. She feels she's the star. Oh, Larsa definitely feels like she's the popular girl. Popular mean girl. And then, the other girls too. Marisol and Kiki, models and stars. And then we have the nerd table, which had Adriana to reflect when she was growing up and she was short and little, and Julia reflecting how she was a geeky girl, the nerd. And then Nicole, she's sitting at the table hearing how these two are describing themselves as nerds, and she's like, I was a nerd too, but I was still cool. And I'm like, okay, Nicole. She's always that one to like get that in, like she can relate, but she's like, I'm not relating though. I thought that was hilarious. So this is kind of sad, I don't think, Julia, she doesn't seem like she's bothered by the situation, but Adriana realized that she ruined Julia's birthday. Like, even though Julia loves Adriana realized that she messed this up, not only for herself and her relationship with these girls, but with her relationship with Julia. Like, that's so unfortunate, And she's trying to, set up a situation where she could, mend the difference with the girls. And she's planning to invite all the girls to the music video release party. And she wants to include all the girls in hoping to, make it up to the girls. But I don't know. I think it's too soon, especially her party's coming up. It would be too soon, especially if you're leaving on such bad terms, So the cake comes for the birthday girls, and it went to the wrong table. The 50th birthday cake went to Kiki's table, and Kiki is like, do I look 50? I'm like, no, you don't, ma'am. You look good. And, funny enough, the dancers come out. They start dancing. All the girls, they get up to dance. And unfortunately, Adriana, she gets up and she starts dancing. I'm like, girl, you have a broken foot. And all the girls, they're not taking Adriana seriously because it's like the optics are not looking right. If you have like a broken foot, first of all, you should be in flats. Even though those shoes was not giving heels, it was giving flats. Still, she was elevated, at risk to re-injuring it again. She has a bandage on it, but come on, you got up and you started dancing. And these girls can't take you serious. They won't take you serious. You're the boy who cried wolf. And that's why they are not willing to accept an apology from you. Even Larsa is like, your foot is not broken. It's not even hurt. And Adriana's like, drop it. And I'm like, come on, Adriana. You didn't have to do that. So we then get a scene with Gertie, and she is working. This is what I want to see, and I want to see more of it. Gertie is about to Gertify the situation. She's planning a meltdown party, which is such a great concept. I love how her mind works in conceptualizing these ideas to make it into a Gertified party. So I'm excited to see this party, but this party is going to be coming up a little bit later. But the concept, I'm here for it, and I hope that, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to show up for Gertie. Like, these girls wouldn't do that to Gertie, but they will do that to Adriana, which is sad. So we get to Adriana video release party, and Julia and Nicole are the only ones to show up. And I could tell, like, it's not going to be a large turnout because, first of all, the table that they were sitting in was quite small. It was nine girls are not going to fit in a U booth, you know. So I already could tell, like, the girls are not showing up, and we already knew these girls are over Adriana. And so we have Julia and Nicole. They show up, and then Gertie comes in, and I'm like, okay, oh, Gertie's such a nice friend. She shows up, and apparently, you know, they're talking, and the girls let us know that, you know, I don't think anyone's gonna show up because there was another party going on, and it's at Marisol's. At Marisol's, girl. So I was like, damn. Not you guys not show up and then throw a party when you know I have a party. Like, damn, that's such a slap in the face. So luckily for us, lucky for Adriana's lucky for this because Lisa didn't have to show up. Lisa's going through so much. She did not have to show up. So Lisa, she makes it for Adriana. And she's like, of course, I wouldn't miss it. And you know, Adriana is shocked. You know, she's like shocked that someone is there for her. Probably because maybe she has some feelings of herself that doesn't feel deserving of people showing up. But if you act like a mean girl and do mean things, people will stop showing up. So, but the situation here is that Lisa, she shows up. She also, you know, get to hear the situation, and her face is just shocked. She's like, Adriana, you're in the wrong. Like, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And, you know, Adriana, she feels bad and she understands. And she's like, no, I understand. But I also sent a message to the girls saying my bad, you know, about the situation. So Marisol and the girls, they talk about receiving the message, and they say that was not good enough. Like, this is not a my bad situation, which I agree, which makes their case even stronger to not give life to Adriana. They also, you know, Marisol brings up a point. She's like, you know, I wouldn't have dropped their friendship because she talked to her ex-man, her ex-boyfriend. But interesting enough, they get into the situation a little bit more. They said that Adriana said that they met on a Bumble app. And that's an app where the men are not allowed to message the women first. The women have to engage first and also like the man's profile. So the girls are like gagged. They're like, oh my God, she's such a snake. She's such a terrible person. So not only Adriana, you know, told on herself, she crossed so many lines that the girls do not see how this is gonna move forward in the future in a positive way. If anything, they are gonna cross, you know, brush off Adriana and let her go. And that's bad because since the girls didn't show up for Adriana's video release party, they're pretty much showing that they're refusing to film with Adriana. Adriana has already mentioned that she only has 1.5 years of alimony left for her to cover her financially. After that, she's going to be responsible for the well-being of herself and her son. And so, given that these girls are not wanting to film with her, it's going to affect Adriana's money, which is going to send her into a tailspin. So I would not be shocked that while Adriana feels bad about the situation, I feel like this is gonna send the wrath. Like, this is gonna actually, you know, infuriates Adriana even more. Now you're stopping her money. Maybe that's why she's crying, because she sees that. And she knows the repercussion of having everyone comment and say how poorly her behavior is, because she knows that she could be fired from the job. And she already feels like she's being eliminated or ousted out from a situation, which is the housewife situation. So I wonder, is she sincerely remorseful for her comments, or how her comments would affect her job. So I was like, oof, that is crazy, 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 crazy. So Adriana, she actually wants Lisa to kind of help mend the situation, and that's a good strategy. She wants to be on good terms with the girls so they could continue to film. And so Lisa, she wants to also rally the girls together, not just because for Adriana's sake, but really for her own sake, because she's going through a lot, and she needs, the support of all the women together. And we're reminded of Lisa's situation. And, we get a scene with Lisa and the kids with grandma, and they're doing arts and crafts. And Lisa pretty much lays out some new news of what's going on to Lenny's mom. And she tells Lenny's mom that he got a beachfront condo with the mistress, and she's a tenant, and they're living there until October. And the reason why it's till October is because they're hoping that Lisa would be gone and removed from the situation, and the new girl will come into the home. And Lisa is saying to us that Lenny's mom has given her so much support, and rightfully so, because Lenny was so rude, so nasty towards his mom. But Lenny's mom, she lets us know that Lenny did apologize to her. And you kind of see like that was enough for her to hear, to now start sticking up for her son. She tells Lisa that, that she has received a lot of support from her. But here's the big but. She mentions how Lenny did mention to her that he didn't like how she was going out all the time. And that when he wanted to go back home, that she refused to go home, rather to stay out all night. She also mentioned the Halloween party with a lot of girls that she would bring around of the situation. So pretty much she's putting the blame on Lisa for Lenny having the opportunity to cheat. And Lisa, she started to rebuttal back. She's like, no, Lenny wanted young women around, but Lisa, she did cater to that. She allowed that to happen. So Lenny's mom is essentially blaming Lisa for presenting the opportunity for Lenny to cheat. And, to have these free weekends where she would be gone to travel and Lenny's home by himself. So now Lenny sounds like the victim. And you see Lisa's face saying, hold up, I can't trust anybody now. I'm like, girl, if I was you, I would have never trusted his mom in the first place. Luckily enough that she was giving you some grace, but you have to understand at some point, you as a mom, you're going to always have a soft spot for your son. So that wasn't going to last, okay? If you're being realistic, She needs to wake up, Lisa needs to wake up and start thinking the best strategy to how to handle the situation. She needs to, Leah has her back and has had her back for so long. And that she should really take the advice of people who are truly in her corner no matter what. Because Lenny's mom is always going to have a bias. So we get a to be continued. And I'm like, no. I love the previews for Housewives of Miami. I was so sad to not get more, to understand, at least to know what's coming up. Okay? But then we'll be in shock. So that's okay. But I would like to make some comments on this episode. I would say that, Alexia, I sympathize with her, but also I felt like this was the final nail in the coffin to give the reason of why to no longer have any dealings with Adriana. Rightfully so, but I felt like she was over that friendship long time ago. And finally, she sees the worst of Adriana to help her decide on that situation to let that go. So Alexia, again, carrying the season alongside with Lisa. She, she's a really good housewife. So I really enjoyed seeing Alexia, how she maneuvered through this situation, and I wonder how she plans to move forward. When she got back from the trip, she talked to her son Frankie. She didn't bring up the situation, of course not, but she told her son how much of a good time it was, and it was a place that we went to before. And you get to see how sweet Frankie is, and I'm like, Adriana, why would you even? You're so dumb. With Larsa, this episode, she was more of a supporting role of the girls. Like, she tried to help the situation, but if Adriana's gonna say things and not think about what she's saying, she's gonna let her bury herself. Larsa can only do so much, and I'm surprised with Larsa, we're not getting much of what's going on in her life. I would like to see more. I feel like she's playing too much of a supporting housewife, as opposed to we getting to see her life. Like, I'm tired of seeing those dogs. Like, those dogs are bad. Like, I'm tired. Okay, we get it. So I would like to see more of Larsa in the coming episodes. I want her to have her moment. We did get a moment with her with Nicole, but I felt like I want to see that again. Like, I like when the girls are always on, but I think that's the match. They know how to, like, hey, if one is going, the other one chills out. One goes, the other one chills out, So, okay, Larsa, I'm going to give you a break. Now, for Julia, Julia always plays the supporting role. I want to see more Martina. What's Martina doing? When these girls are doing this, what's Martina up to? Because I feel like Julia's demise is going to be by Adriana. Because for her having to always, take up for Adriana, which she does. She says she doesn't want to do that all the time, but she does. By her doing that, she kind of pulls away from developing a relationship with these other girls. And I actually liked her bonding with Larsa. So I want to see more of those two developing a friendship. She does have a good friendship with Nicole. And Nicole gets along with everyone. Like, if you, like, Nicole, I don't know. Like, you have to give a reason for Nicole not to get along with you. But she does put in a lot of effort. So I want to segue to that, recognizing Nicole, because Nicole, she's been through it in every episode. I feel like she needs a break. She needs a break, but I can't wait when she gets back home and she talks to her husband on what went down to see what his take of it. I feel like Anthony's take on what's going on with the housewives is always fascinating. I feel like he should have an honorary housewife position because he is so hilarious. And to see his take, I love to hear it. Kiki is always fun. She's a friend of the show. So, she does what friend ofs do. It's pretty much have fun. Her funny moment in this episode is pretty much with the mix up with the cake when it went to her table. And she's like, does this give 50? And, it doesn't, of course not. But, I like Kiki's because of the funny little moments she has. She doesn't have to do much. But, I would love to see if she becomes a housewife, what would she add to the franchise? I would love to see that. Let's see. So I think that's all the girls. If I'm missing one, that means you didn't stand out too much. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I covered them all. I covered Liza. I covered Gertie. I want more from Gertie. We had a short scene of Gertie in her work, which I always will say that I love to see Gertie do Gertified events. So that's always fun. So yeah, that was all the girls. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I look forward for next week's episode. So please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and tell me what you thought of the episode. I know that we got to see the music video for Adriana. I'm kind of tired of seeing music videos for these housewives, especially on that roll down projector. Like, I am done, okay? But this episode was amazing, and I look forward to see what happens next. We didn't get a preview, so we got to be on the lookout for that. And I hope you guys, look forward to the next episode of the recap coming up. Take care and have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, and Leah Black, please consider coming back, because we need. Can you imagine how much more amazing this franchise would be with Leah Black coming back to the Housewives? Girl, I would live. Okay, guys, bye, 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 bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friend, do what you do, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.